Ohio. We're high on Ohio. These stories inform and inspire through the words of people who make Ohio home. Good news and good ideas, identifying and acknowledging the excellence that is all around us. This is Gene Krebs. I'm here today with Womer Benjamin, who is the Executive Director of the Northeast Ohio Council of Higher Education. And we're having a conversation about things that interest the Center for Community Solutions, and that's who I'm here on behalf of. You've done some very innovative things up here with your council, NOCHI. There are some very positive, very good gains, but there are still some problems going on. So in the public policy realm, what keeps you awake at night?
Public policy realm, shoot, I was going to tell you about the raccoon doing somersaults on the roof over my head.
No. Now, if you want to, we can talk about that and possible solutions.
I've
already
talked to a friendly neighborhood trapper. Historically, in public policy, and this goes both at the statewide level and at the local and regional level, the focus has been largely on K-12 and on access to college. Access to college does not mean a person's going to get a degree.
Talk about the completion and
retention during college to successful degree completion is something that has to be included in the public policy focus. And frankly, I stay awake at night wondering if policymakers and public leaders
understand
that and will have the willpower to include in their focus completion of college. It is something that we have been working on as part of the Northeast Ohio Talent Dividend. Of course, we also work on college readiness and access, but we have recognized that there is just such a shortfall and a short-sightedness when it comes to completion of college. And the fact is, the Georgetown Center for Education and the Workforce has just updated their study from a couple years ago to show that in Ohio, by 2020, 64% of our jobs will require some post-secondary education. Yeah. We have to get there, and we don't get there by just giving students access.
Right.
We have to work with them when they are in college to help them succeed.
Sounds like my diets. They may start, but I need to actually finish them too.
And frankly, it's a critical need.
It is.
And for quick results, to boost the number of degree holders in Northeast Ohio or in Ohio, you have to focus on students already in college. We've been working with our Chief Academic Officers Committee at NOCHI on identifying retention strategies, and a number of our schools are already implementing some retention strategies to help their current students actually complete a degree. And that may involve, for instance, interventions, counseling. It may involve a very small stipend or scholarship to get over some small financial hurdle even in their final year of school. But those students can graduate given the proper support.
And when you and I served together in the Ohio House of Representatives, you were remarkable in that you, as a Republican, represented a mostly Democrat district, which meant you had to learn how to talk to people who did not exactly share all of your beliefs. And yet, one of the things we're very worried about here in Ohio is we're seemingly losing, if you will, that ability to talk to people who are not like us, this issue of civic capacity. Authors from the left, like Bill Bishop and The Big Sword, have referenced it. And earlier this year, I interviewed Charles Murray, who's a libertarian with the American Enterprise Institute. He also writes extensively about this sorting mechanism going on. He calls it coming apart. How did you communicate? What was your secret to be able to talk to people who had a different value belief structure than you? You were very successful at 4 terms in the Ohio House. How are you able to do that? What secrets can you pass on to people, and how do you see our civic capacity here in this state moving forward?
I think it's important to talk to everyone.
Okay.
I did not
Classify people as enemy or friend.
Right. I did not say no to union people, to any people from across the aisle. I worked with people across the aisle to accomplish what I saw as positive public policy goals. I did not have a particular agenda other than good government, and also bringing people into their government. I think it's so important that people realize the government is there for them, and the government is theirs, and they need to participate. I do see sort of a rift in public discourse on these issues. But I continue to talk to people, and I think it's important. Just the issue of higher education, for instance, as you know from our time in the Ohio House, when we were there, it was not necessarily embraced by many of our colleagues, the importance of higher education. Nevertheless, I believed in it and continued to advocate for it and continue to do so now. And interestingly, to some extent, we at NOCHI feel like we are sometimes the only advocates for the importance of a college education, because there are so many people out there who are just more focused on K-12,
right,
without really appreciating the continuum of education through a college degree.